And last week, we left the area rock band Blotto on the verge of stardom. Tonight, Liz Bishop is here with the rest of the story of these talented local performers. Liz.
JT, in the summer of 1981, the up-and-coming band from Albany metaphorically collided head-on with an upstart television network. MTV was betting that music fans wanted to see their bands perform, not just hear them. And no band at the time could claim to be more visual than Blotto. Tonight, part 2 of my Rewind special.
I wanna be a left guy. You can't fire me. Yeah.
If their songs were funny to listen to, they were even funnier to watch.
The humor was always the trump card for us, and without that, we're just another rock and roll band, really.
Blotto's homemade music video made waves thanks to 2 Albany State students who encouraged the band to send it to a startup TV network called MTV. I Want to Be a Lifeguard was one of 47 videos to hit the air on what was about to become a game changer for the industry and Blotto.
We believed that it was time for a change in music. We saw that music had hit a wall, it was stagnating.
That was MTV co-founder John Sykes of Schenectady. He believed that music videos would sell records, but the record companies were holding out.
The record companies wanted to be paid. They said, we'll give you videos, you give us money. And MTV said, we don't do that. So they took artists who would be willing to donate, as it were, the videos.
And that's what made Blotto an MTV headliner.
Martha Quinn said to us, the first day we were as big stars as David Bowie and The Who and everyone else who was on that day. To them, to the VJs.
Quinn, who was a native of Troy, was one of the 5 original MTV VJs, and she wasn't the only one who saw them as stars.
Hey, that was Heavy Metal Head Blotto. They're one of my favorite groups. They're crazy.
With MTV, we would show up at places and already had fans, as it were.
But because they still didn't have a major record label behind them, Blotto's record sales could only increase so much.
We sold, I don't think we even kept count, but it had to have been a couple 100,000 of the first record.
The money may not have poured in, but the recognition did.
We were in Kansas, and the guy pumping our gas goes, "Hey, it's Blotto." And we're like, we'd never been in Kansas before.
They were so in demand.
MTV actually called us up after like a year and a half of playing lifeguard, said, "Where's the next video?" I mean, how often does that happen, right?
Blotto would land a handful of videos on MTV, but what had held them back from their earliest days as the Star-Spangled Washboard Band was still their biggest roadblock.
We never got a major label deal.
Why do you think that is?
They kept saying we were too funny.
Too funny for a music band and too musical for a comedy group. And since we didn't have the resources to come up with another hit record, it sort of just petered out on its own.
Today, the surviving Blotto members, Broadway, Bowtie, and Lee Harvey, still see each other regularly. They have a documentary coming out, an active website, and no regrets. Did you ever get ahead of the game?
We weren't rich and famous.
You can't fire me.
We were solvent and well known.
And the band members tell me that in 1984, when the drinking age was raised to 21, the bottom really fell out of touring, and that's what really killed them. No one can ever accuse Blotto, though, of not trying to reach the top. They were their own songwriters, marketers, performers, promoters, and mailroom workers. They believed that if they had arrived on the scene 5 years later when MTV and then VH1 added programming to their music video lineup, their unique take on rock music just might have landed them their own show. Timing, as they say, is everything.